Somebody pet the puppy! Come on! What the f***, John? I officially hate John. I can't believe John is like, hey, bro, why don't you take this mutt with you and take him off my hands? Ghost has been fighting for John for 8 seasons, somehow makes it out of World War Z, zombie fucking waves, which makes no sense, but he fought long and hard, his ears all mangled, and that's how much respect. He didn't even boot the snoot. He doesn't pet him. He like gives him like a bro. What up?
What's up, Doug?
What's up, dog? That's fucking stupid. I hate you, John. What the hell?
He looks so sad too, because even
Alex,
Ghost looked over and he
snoot
realized
and pet Ghost.
But now we get the amazing adventures of Tormund.
Yeah, I want that spinoff. Fuck John. Tormund and Ghost for the win. All right, guys, welcome to our review of Game of Thrones Episode 4.
Yay!
Can it make up for what the angry rant that I went on for Episode 3?
No.
I don't know. We'll find out here. I want to first give thanks to our sponsors throughout this series.
Yeah, Stardust.
Stardust app, cups up to down. And go ahead and download the app. It's filled with reactions and people sharing their thoughts on the latest episodes as we do. I put some exclusive videos there. For every person that follows the Angry Joe Show, you can even check my follower count. We get $1, so it directly supports the show. It's free. No cost to you, no reason not to check it out. See if it's something you like. Our buddies Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman are on there, along with a few other people. As we said in previously, we would be selecting a follower who was going to tag us to go to the viewing party for the final episode. So I'm going to announce the winner right now.
Visually, that was the best battle scene I have ever seen on TV. Story-wise, there was a lot of gaps in the story. They didn't stick to everything that they should have, and there's a lot that needs to be explained, and I really hope that they explain it in the next episode, because otherwise characters were just surviving with plot armor, and that's just not Game of Thrones.
All right, so we'll be getting in touch with you hopefully very soon, and if you don't respond, I'm going to pick somebody else or something, so please respond very quickly. And for the rest of you, please keep tagging me in case I need somebody new or following me on there with your own reactions reacting to our Stardust app videos. So let's jump into the episode. This week, obviously, after a long, hard-fought battle with some major plot holes and some stupid moments and plot armor and plot dumbness and a bunch of stuff, I was planning on a somber episode, an episode reflecting on all that they've lost. And I saw in the preview they raised their cups and they were cheering. So I was all ready to be mad at the episode the second they started cheering. But I thought it was actually well done.
definitely
At
agree.
the start. At the start, it was well done. Everybody's sad. We got the funeral scene. Everybody's sort of lighting the torch to the people that they come from and care about most.
Yeah, well, they ran out of like people that died, and so John's looking at Lyanna Mormont. I was like, yeah, I get that she died, but you got no. So few people died that they're like, we ran out of like real name characters.
No, she pledged her allegiance to John.
That's
yeah,
true.
her and the 10 Mormont people alive, and it was.
But so they burned all the bodies. God, I wonder what that smelled like. Ugh. Horrible. And then they go for a feast, and they eat, and it's really kind of tense. It's really kind of somber and reflective. Gendry's sitting with Hound, and Hound's not being very friendly.
Hey, where's Arya? Where's Arya? And he's like, dude, don't think with your little thing down there. Like, calm down.
Gendry is so excited after getting one night with that Arya.
I mean, hey, wouldn't you be too?
No.
She can wear a lot of different faces.
No.
Yeah, she can be whoever you want her to be.
But anyways, so Gendry gets up, tries to find another seat, but they say, hey, hero, you.
Got to make some political moves real quick.
I know who you are because everybody's celebrating, everybody's cheering Jon, and so Dany's makes a little bit of a power move and says, you're a Baratheon. you're the last Baratheon, aren't you? And it's like, oh shit, here we go, Game of Thrones stuff. But she says to the hero, you are now, I will make you the Lord. And so the House Baratheon is back.
It's back.
It's back, baby. Gendry's leading it. He's going to be able to get his own place. He's a lord now.
He goes to find his lady.
There you go.
And all of a sudden, of course, Arya is not drinking, participating in any of the merry mints. She's out practicing with her bow and arrow in the hallway. And he runs up to her and he's all excited, like, I'm a lord now. I have a keep. I want you to be my lady. And he kisses her deeply, passionately, and he's on his knees, and she gets back down on her knees and kisses him, and then says, well, I've never been a lady, and you being a lord is wonderful, and any lady would be happy to have you, but it's not me. Breaks his heart completely. Like, oh, Genji, go find your little boat, man. You get rowing.
He got let down hard, which I guess is within Arya's character. Arya's not interested in that. She was just, DTF. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was.
I was more surprised that he was like mad. The way he described it is like, I'm madly in love with you. Like, let's go do this. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Like at all, like the whole scene. Like I
did seem a little out of his
kind of forced a little bit. It's like I love the fact that those two together. Give me one more episode of them. Like
some good bump,
multiple faces, but she could be wherever. But like also when Dany gives him the title, I was just kind of like, didn't you came here to like break this whole wheel of feudalism where there's like I appoint you Lord, now I appoint you Lord. It's like you don't even know who's living there right now.
Yeah.
You want to like
he's Lord now.
Everyone get out and made this guy Lord.
She's doing it because she's noticing John's getting all the attention and the attention for what she does all the time. They're like, "Whoa, you rode a dragon, bro!"
Yeah,
and it's like, and you kill all these people on the dragon. It's like, but Danny's like, I fucking do that all the time, and you guys are ignoring me. Yeah. He's like, "You're a man. I love men."
Yeah.
And, okay.
But if she's doing it for a power play, then why did they write in "you're responsible for my father being dead" and the 2 seconds where they're trying to like lead you like, is she gonna do this one thing?
Is she mad? Is she doing it? Because this whole fucking episode they play with Dany becoming unstable.
She's got crazy eyes throughout the entire episode.
But before we go there, let's talk about somebody else who gets lucky this night.
Oh, Brienne.
Brienne.
Oh, so they start playing the game where they're guessing. It's Tyrion's game. Everybody drink, be merry. If it's time to drink, it is now because we survived. So it's Tyrion, Jaime, Tripodrick, and Brienne who are all sitting there being merry. You can clearly.
It was a great thing because I was gonna be mad if they're all happy. Right?
They were happy, though.
But it works.
After that much alcohol and surviving?
After Lord Gendry, people were like, drink to his honor.
Yeah.
And he did kind of help save people, making all the dragon glass. And if you have a traumatic experience, you're going to get drunk. You're going to play games with your brother. Hey, have you ever fucked?
Everybody.
You're a virgin?
Yeah, she gets mad. She jumps up. She walks away. And then, of course, we forget to mention that Tormund had walked up at just that point, and he goes to follow, and Jaime steps up, and he's just like,
nah, bro.
And he turns around, walks away, and Tyrion pours the rest of his wine into Tormund's mug.
Because Tormund ain't getting none.
He's not. And he gets clearly upset about it. But, Jaime.
So we were all wrong.
Yeah.
You thought.
Nobody was going to get
Nobody's going to.
Brienne.
You thought.
I wanted Tormund.
I want Tormund to get.
Giant monsters to conquer the earth.
Right. But it ends up being Jaime who follows her to her room.
Awkwardly.
And they have a little scene. It's so awkward they can't even talk about it, but they take each other's clothes off. They have some
Brienne
sex.
takes both of their clothes off.
I'm gonna undress you, then undress me.
Yeah.
No one undresses me but me.
And I was like, all right, cool. You know, I thought it was fine. And you knew something like that was going to go down. It wasn't going to be Tormund or her, hey, she's a virgin. Everybody's having sex, apparently. Arya and there, might as well.
DTF?
Exactly. So, and then we move on from that scene, and where do we go? Well, we get basically war plans. No, actually, we go directly to another getting down and dirty scene, but it doesn't happen. Because it's Jon and Dany, and they've got to deal with this whole aunt, his true identity. So they try to pick up as if everything's fine. He's kissing and hugging and, maybe some sexual things. But Jon pulls away quite seriously. And what happens here?
Well, he pulls away and just like is brooding in the corner, and she's like, "Oh, I feel the same way. I wish you never would have told me." And then goes on the political implications of him having the claim to the throne. And he's like, "No, I don't. That doesn't matter to me."
Yeah.
And then they have this awkward encounter where they're trying to force conflict. It's like, you need to make sure that Bran and that Sam swear to tell nobody,
Right.
and that's the only way that we can ever go back to the way that we were.
Right. And don't tell anybody.
Don't
tell nobody, and then we get this
And
thing
then
where
this stupid, honest Abe thing. Well, he's got the same weakness that Ned has, right?
I guess he's not even his son, but he's just as much of an idiot because they've got to force the plot.
Yep.
Where I cannot tell a lie, and I have to tell these people. And she's like, well,
Right.
while these people could potentially die, what if there's this split and thousands and thousands of people die? He's like, yeah, but they're my family, and my sister needs to know that we're still family, except I'm a cousin instead of a half brother, because that means a lot. The difference between cousin and half brother is a lot.
Right. No, it's not.
It's stupid.
And it's forced conflict. Basically, people pulling away. To me, I don't know how you interpret it. To me, it seems like he's still down to be with her and have sex with her and try to be a couple.
Yeah.
But they got to resolve the whole Targaryen thing, who's going to be sitting on the throne, who he can tell, who he can't tell. If he could share this with his family, he's cool.
Yeah, he
But
tried.
she says, that's not cool. Here's how it's going to go. If you want to be with me, you can't tell them.
Yeah,
Guess
this
what?
is the only way.
He tells them.
Yeah, I think she is way more comfortable with them being intimate than he
His
is.
aunt.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
Right.
he
'Cause
doesn't
she's a
want it.
Targaryen, and she's heard
She
stories.
grew up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, even in D&D kind of mentioned that she kind of grew up with it. In Winterfell, they have none of that. So even if he wants to, I think he's uncomfortable with the situation. Maybe he could be led into it over time, but she seems totally down still.
Yeah, she's
But again, this conflict is forced. He goes to tell Sansa and Arya, and then Arya and Sansa are playing the Game of Thrones. She's like, we don't trust Dany. You are family. And
well, you're skipping the part where Dany is trying to say, this is where we're going to go next. This is my plan. You have to go along with it. And Sansa specifically says you should give everybody some time to rest.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was
The
specifically
war plans.
a power play in her part, but
Yeah.
Jon instantly takes Dany's back. I don't know if it's to reassure her and his, motives and everything, but he goes, "No, it should be fine. Whatever you want, Queen, we'll do it."
pussy whipped.
Pussy whipped indeed.
But actually, no, that's a really good point. I mean, and here's another scene that I had a problem with. Grey Worm comes in here, half of all Unsullied died.
Yeah.
No, it's way more than half,
That's a
and then
lot.
way more than half here, way more than half here. They still have. I knew this was gonna fucking happen. That they're gonna have remaining forces equal to Cersei's or about on par. Maybe Cersei's a little more. No, they had fucking 12 people left. Don't fucking lie to me. And I guess, well, that happened off screen, Joe. And I was like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. And they replenished their army so quickly, and now they're ready to march down to Winterfell. It just pisses me off. But you're right. She does give good advice to say, let's rest. Well, what's wrong with resting? You didn't think that's a good idea?
No, I thought
because
that was
ultimately,
absolutely a great idea. Like, after fighting a war and after fighting any sort of thing, your people are going to need rest. And Rhaegal was injured in the fight as well, so giving him some time to rest would have been a good idea as well.
Yes, because we have our first big twist of the
Whoa.
episode.
You wanna jump?
We'll skip ahead a little bit.
Okay.
They start going down to King's Landing, and it's such an awkward scene because they're
is.
just like there's like no fucking real formation or plan, or they don't
Yeah,
even
they're
seem
just
battle
floating
ready.
along.
They're just flying on like the castle's
They're going to
deserted
dragon-
or something. Then all of a sudden.
Right
Funk,
through the heart!
funk,
Like, right in
Drogo,
the chest.
No,
Rhaegal.
Rhaegal takes one to the heart, then fucking takes one to the neck, spits
He
blood.
took like 3 or 4.
Yeah, he took
It's
a lot.
fucking insane. And why? Well,
plummets.
maybe he could have seen it coming, and he could have been a
They-
little bit
no,
better
the ships were
flyer.
invisible.
Well, no, Dany was also the only one who could have possibly seen them, because the way that it worked was Euron had maybe 6 to 10 ships in that one little crevice, so there was 2 giant mountains between them. The only person who could have seen it was Dany, but since Rhaegal was injured, she was staring at him like, oh, my baby's flying again, everything's wonderful, and then fucking right through the heart.
Well, I have problems with this. This is
Everything.
where it starts
Oh, yeah.
to fucking
No,
fall
that's
apart.
fair,
Even
but-
more than that, Erica, because I mean, it's obvious, Urian is out there with the Iron
The
Fleet
only
somewhere.
thing they do not have is a navy. They
Yes.
have equal ground forces, and he's like, "Oh, the only thing we have to be afraid of is the navy. So let's send all of our army, or
Unsullied.
most of our army, down the King's Road. It'll take them 2 weeks, and we'll just, get on a ship. Nothing bad can happen in the ocean, right?
Yeah, they only send
They
like
don't
10
send
people.
scout ships to look
Never.
for Urian's fucking fleet. They just get fucking surprised. And here comes now after we finished off one of the dragons, and Dany gets super pissed, and she's like, I'm gonna fucking
She
charge and
wanted
destroy
it.
all these ships. No, they
Crazy
fire
ass.
volleys, and she realizes, oh shit, I can't fucking dodge 20.
She
and
has time to react to, like, as she's dive bombing them, she has time to react to, like, move out of the way.
Dive bomb,
but
yeah.
so not only did these invisible ships, like, have line of sight on Rhaegal for long enough to, like, accurately pinpoint his location
Multiple
but like
times.
no one's paying any sort of attention. They can't see it. I don't want to buy
I don't
anything about it.
fucking buy it either.
They-
They direct the shots to the fucking fleet, tear the fleet to pieces.
Why not shoot the dragon that has the Dragon Queen riding it? Why choose if you have that much time to shoot them out of the air? Why not choose the proper target?
Plot armor. That one has plot armor.
Armor.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about their fleet gets decimated. Grey Worm's in the water. Tyrion's in the water. Shit is going haywire. They lose their fucking fleet. Their forces are decimated, and they lose Missandei.
Yep.
Missandei's missing.
Yeah.
Okay, she got captured by.
They were on the
assassin.
same ship too.
They were on the same ship. Didn't make no sense. Fine, she's captured,
Yeah.
and Cersei holds her hostage.
Yes.
And one of the most pathetic scenes I've ever seen. You've got this like 10 guys, 10 Unsullied, all of the most important fucking advisors and commanders,
And generals, yep.
The fucking Dragon Queen who is trying to take your fucking throne.
Yeah.
And fucking Drogon just kind of, what's
Was he
up,
even
y'all?
in the
What's up?
background?
He's
Yeah,
like,
he was hanging out
he's
in
in
the
the back.
background.
He's hanging out in the
Didn't even
background.
see
He's
him.
just on the floor, on the ground, doing nothing. And you've got all these motherfucking scorpions. You've got bow and arrows, and Cersei just sits there and does fucking
Lets
nothing.
him go.
Lets him
Yeah,
go.
I don't
Does
know
not.
what
She
that
could have
was.
just fucking shot everybody, obliterated, and the war over.
I thought-
What the fuck?
I thought they were going to do that to Tyrion.
Yeah,
actually,
I
because
did
they
too.
had all of them pointed at it, and again, it would have been a lot more Game of Thrones to have two of the scorpions shoot his little ass, and then a parade of just arrows into him, just to prove a
Shot with
point.
the scorpions.
Yeah.
Like it would just cut him in half.
Instead, she sends out with that Maester
Qyburn.
guy,
Qyburn.
and fucking Tyrion comes up. He's like, "You need to surrender," and he's like, "No, you." You-
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh, you.
No, yeah.
And then he's like,
We got
"Fuck
you
this!
first."
I
Yeah.
can't talk to you no more. Goes try to talk to Cersei directly."
He does the bullshit Luke Skywalker thing that he's been doing all seasons where I sense good in you. You're not a monster. I can turn you. It's like, shut up,
Okay,
stop it.
Wait.
Yeah.
With that in mind, so she just told Euron that she was pregnant. Do you question that at all? That Tyrion already knew, and like for
Yeah.
the greater good in your child, like what? How does this little bastard know? Like,
Exactly. Well, but in Urion's defense, he's a bit of a fucking moron.
is not
So I
the
guess he's not
smartest.
paying attention at all. Wait, how does
Qyburn
this
coulda
little
told
guy
you.
know? Fine.
I guess. I mean,
Wait.
he just talked with her doctor, so.
I don't know. I think the timing on that is suspect. It
Oh, for
doesn't
sure
make
it's
any
suspect, but
fucking
like
sense.
Tyrion did just speak with her personal physician, like
So,
not
like, 2
not.
seconds?
in response to surrendering, Cersei is. We all know Cersei. She's not going to give up the throne like that, and she fucking cuts off the head of Missandei, pissing off Grey Worm,
Tell us-
shattering fucking Dany.
Any last words you may have?
Valar Morghulis. No,
No.
not that one.
Dracarys.
Dracarys, I guess.
Burn it all.
Burn it.
I guess.
Just foreshadowing, another foreshadowing. All of the people are entering the keep and the castle at King's Landing, and she's like, "We're gonna use these people as a shield in between us and Dany. We're gonna, if Dany wants to come get me, she's gonna have to kill all of these people," which makes no fucking sense because you could just siege the fucking castle, starve them out, and once the people start to come out and say, "Oh, we're starving," Dany gives them food, and fucking
Come join us.
Jon gives them food, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are pretty cool."
Yeah.
Ugh, Cersei's a fucking dick.
Yeah, she
Yes.
You know, but no. Apparently,
They talked about blockades. Oh, we'll just blockade. We'll blow up all their ships to stop them from getting supplies.
Oh,
supplies
that's
from
right.
where? Like
That's right. The Iron Fleet it will continue to bring them food. Is the excuse
from like?
But exactly
Essos?
from where?
Like they're gonna go all the way around to Essos to go get food because everyone on Westeros is allied against them.
I guess they could, but it was really fucking slow.
Euron
but here's the
does
thing.
have fast travel.
Everybody in the Seven Kingdoms fucking supports Jon and Dany.
Yep.
Yeah.
They even said that they have the support of
Dorne now.
Dorne.
Yeah.
And the Vale and all these other places, obviously the North, and it just makes no sense.
Agreed.
You know, the way that they want to rush this and just murder all these people by fire, thus setting up Dany as the ultimate baddie.
Called it.
And you're fucking right, because throughout this episode, her eyes just fucking gloss over. She lost her baby. She lost her best friend.
She lost
and now
her
she's
lover.
like she's smelling shit.
Yeah.
And she walks off like I was like, okay, we're getting Mad Queen.
Mad Queen.
Dany is
Yeah.
going to be final boss here. We're going to fuck Cersei up. Dany final boss. I'm calling it now.
Well, you're happy that you're right, which is good. I mean, that's a great reason to be happy. But
not
I'm
happy,
unhappy
right?
because it's stupid.
It is stupid. It goes against
yeah.
the fucking character. We're literally give one episode for Dany to do an about face and get crazy with this and see
Wait,
these
about
people
face,
not.
she turned slightly, just
No,
slightly.
This
because
is where it is because she's gonna go all out in the next episode. She's fucking
gonna
pissed.
burn
So
everybody.
this was the episode where she turned.
Yeah.
like officially.
All right, but going back, so that was the big reveal that we lost Missandei, we lost Drogo, and now Dany is
Rhaegal.
going Rhaegal. I keep saying Drogo, Rhaegal, but Drogo's gone too.
Drogo's probably gone.
He's gone.
He did.
Because what's he gonna do? I mean, what is Drogo gonna do? There's fucking 15 scorpions on this thing. He can't get anywhere near them.
Well, next episode's a battle scene, right? And so we know they like to cheap out, and so if they just do it at night, they don't have to do as much CG or set
Alex,
design.
they better not do this fucking scene at night. This is the one time I could enjoy a day battle.
No.
A day siege. You think it's gonna be at a?
It saves a bunch of money.
No, it's gonna be during the daytime. I'm fucking pissed off. But all right. So anyway, we go back to Jaime and Tyrion and Bronn. We get the payoff to the Bronn storyline. What
Payoff.
happened
This
there?
was so stupid.
Yeah,
This scene was so forced.
scene that we have a
Payoff.
problem with. Why do you have a problem with that?
It just was so forced. Like,
But here's the thing: we're like, this ain't happening. He's just gonna get paid double,
yeah.
and we predicted that correct.
So
They
he kicks-
basically don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
He kicks open the door. He's got this giant. So apparently, if you want to get and kill anyone in Winterfell, you just like walk around like a crazy person with a big ass crossbow. Kicks open the door. There's no one guarding me. He's like, "All right, hey, I'm mad at you. Your sister sent me to kill you,
He's
and
like out of character.
you promised. She already paid me, but she promised to give me a castle. I'm gonna break your nose real quick, and we're gonna go back. I want you to give me."
friends. They're
It was
supposed.
cute. The
They're
only-
friends, but they're not friends.
Yeah.
They went too far with that. Like, why the fuck would he dig him out of a fucking lake and save his life from the Jaime I'm
Slight
talking about
loyalty,
during that
yeah.
battle? To just turn around and do this. But they said, oh, I promise you, how about High Guards? I thought they were going to give him the twins.
Yeah.
You know, Walder Frey's
That's not
fucking
good enough.
area, because it's two castles. The twins would be perfect. But no, they want to give him the most beautiful castle in the land. Why?
Yeah.
Because earlier in the episode,
He's like, oh, what about
Yeah.
that one?
I want that one.
Well, that also
See,
leads
it ties
to one
together.
of my favorite quotes as well. Is the only way to get you to shut up is to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My favorite quote is Tormund, drunk out of his mind, looking around, goes, "Which one of you cowards shit my pants?"
Oh, you took my quote. Yeah, that's that I don't. Shit, I don't have a quote.
I
to
call
back
it
up
first.
that
We'll
quote.
come back to you.
Yeah.
Don't
There's
worry.
the shit in pants quote. Damn it.
Yeah, that scene seemed super forced, and I didn't like it. The whole, and then from then on, the whole Jaime red herring. Is he going to go back to Cersei? Is he going there to kill Cersei? So if he goes back to kill Cersei, I think it's poor writing because they're setting up. They're lying to us, and they're cutting out stuff.
The Jaime, people are like, he's clearly lying because he doesn't want Brienne to stop him. So he's basically telling him, fuck off, Brienne, even though he doesn't really want her to
Makes
fuck
her
off.
cry.
He knows that Cersei might win. And so he's got to go over there and try to kill her. So I think he's still on his same arc. But I swear to God, if he's like, we're the same kind of bed and he's addicted to her and they're talking in the after episode like that, I'm like, if that is true, if you motherfuckers write it like that, I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
fucking done. Because you just destroyed Jaime's arc.
Well, the alternative is
But it's a red herring.
he is going back to be an assassin, and he's not telling any of his allies about it. He's leaving at an awkward time, and there's just no reason to give us a little glimpse of that scene and have him do something completely different. This is like really cheap, garbagey grocery
writing.
store mystery novel type writing, and I hate this kind of stuff. Like this show used to be better than this, and it's just not anymore.
And that leads to, what are some positives? Well, there's one.
I'm not done with the negatives.
Go ahead.
One of the things that I really wanted to see here is you have Bran finally revealing to Arya and Sansa who Jon is. We got nothing.
Right,
and he goes, and he's like, all right, let me tell you the story. And then we cut scenes. And we don't get to see how do the characters react.
Reaction.
We get none of that.
No.
Yeah.
Then, the very next scene, after promising that she won't tell anybody, she tells Tyrion.
Tells Tyrion.
We don't get to see his reaction. And he goes, holy shit, they're banging.
And then Tyrion immediately tells
Varys.
Varys.
Well,
And so
that was Sansa just playing into the whole Game of Thrones, where she specifically tells him.
That's a good point.
Well, I have no problem with
Sansa
it.
did it on purpose,
For
Alex.
sure. No, I have no issue with that. We don't get to see how Tyrion reacts to the most, the R plus L equal J.
Right.
Theories have been going around for a decade now,
Yeah.
and we don't get to see how any of our favorite characters react to it.
It's true.
None of them. We only saw how Dany react to it.
I mean, they already know at this point. It's just don't tell. Well, no.
No, they
don't.
literally
they
all of them
told
just found
everybody.
out this
Yeah,
episode,
Sansa,
and we got to see
Arya.
no one
Any of
figure
the
it out.
reactions.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
They done fucked it up.
They done fucked it up again. Well, no, I already didn't like this episode.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters to me were acting out of character.
Agreed.
They didn't really seem like the versions of the people that we have come to know. And it felt all forced to set up artificial conflicts here and there so that we could still play the motherfucking Game of Thrones. And I thought this whole thing was about that. No, it doesn't matter who sits on the fucking throne, whether it's Cersei not caring about her people or Dany killing people so that she could then sit on the throne, or Jon sitting on the throne doesn't want the throne. Doesn't fucking matter. It's all fucking bullshit. But to me, it looks like after all of this, it looks like the writers of the show, maybe there's some deal between them and George R.R. Martin or HBO where the Game of Thrones is going to literally be about the fucking Game of Thrones, and Song of Ice and Fire is about something different. So you get two different stories. And if I look at it like that, I'm like, fine. Let's play the fucking Game of Thrones. But I do not fucking care anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I was holding it the whole time. We're talking about some of the negatives of the show, but I just don't care. I don't care who lives. I don't care who dies.
I care who dies because I want some people to.
I want everybody to fucking
I want a lot of people to die. Well, the problem I have with not caring, and I agree with you, I don't care anymore, is because I feel like they got the final two fights in the wrong order, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So one fight, the one we got last episode, is about the ultimate battle. The dead
existential
versus the living.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's just evil for evil's sake.
Put
and
the
then
petty conflicts aside. Let's come together.
And then to this episode, we get back to the petty conflicts. We get back to, well, I don't want to kneel to you. I want you to. I want you to kneel to you. It's like I don't care.
So stupid. And maybe that's the message that George R.R. Martin gave the notes for, or maybe D&D is saying, is that humans are fucking stupid. They're gonna squabble until the end of time, until they all fucking kill each other.
Yep.
And that's gonna be how this fucking series ends. Fucking awesome. Great. Cool. I mean, I guess it's still in line with the show, but I would have rather it been flipped, and I would have rather involved the Night King, and I would have rather people had come together, but then still had that bullshit there towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can still surprise you. I guess we have.
I'm hoping that at the last fucking
Pleasantly
episode, the
surprised.
Night King is not dead, but no, that would be bad writing because they fucking killed the Night King,
Well-
and he's like literally a walking, talking, self-destruct button, walks right up into the battle. Oh my
No, that's
God.
supposed to be the whole Bran situation where it's secretly Bran needs to restart.
I
the
was
world,
looking at
so-
Bran this whole
Yeah.
fucking episode, looking
What's
for
up, Bran?
hints that maybe he was warging into something that last battle. and
watching
he's got
Endgame.
and he
He
no,
was
he was
watching
just
Endgame.
fucking. He's peaced out. He went into the future. He's fucking watching YouTube and shit. Let's bitch about it. Okay. So we've said plenty of negatives at this point, and scene by scenes and what we thought. Let's do some positives. Was there any positives here?
This is the first time in a very long time that the show kind of felt like Game of Thrones. We had a lot of interesting scenes with Tyrion and Varys where they were scheming and there was political intrigue and they were talking about things that actually kind of got me interested in Game of Thrones to begin with, where they're trying to push candidates in the right direction and then determine the fate of the realm. And I like these scenes. They were real short, but I think that it was nice to have them back because I hadn't seen them.
Are you 180 on the fact that that this should be a Song of Ice and Fire, or that it should be political intrigue?
I don't think I ever said that it needs to only be like Game of Thrones versus A Song of Ice and Fire. I like some of the slower scenes where characters are talking, discussing the impact of some of this. We had some major events in this episode. Right. We had the army of the dead defeated, and not one single person outside of the North. And they talked to Cersei, they talked to Qyburn, and they didn't go like, "Oh, how was the war against the dead? I heard you killed 100,000 people that were coming to murder me." Not mention of anything. So
well, that's what Cersei. The mention is Cersei can use it. No, they're lying. There was no fucking army.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not
which
talking about
minimizes the impact of what the North did, which pisses me off again.
But like Qyburn wasn't part of the propaganda machine. He could be someone. They're like, look, Tyrion when he walked up there said, "Look, we've already defeated the army of the dead. Now it's your turn. You've got to go. We're going to come defeat you, no problem." But there was no mention of it once they left the celebration scene. So I like when characters are discussing how the big things that happen in the show impact their daily lives. We see these characters, like we see a father and daughter with Arya and the Hound early on, and like you see the impact of winter coming, like, oh, they're going to be dead, and then you do see them die later on, and like these are things that are important because it's world building. And now we just have like Michael Bay coming up with dragon scenes, and then there's no impact on anything.
So there was a positive then.
Originally was a positive.
Yeah, I heard
like the scenes that we had that were positive.
What about you, Erica? Any positives in this particular episode?
I appreciate how Arya let down Gendry, even though it was real sad. It was the most positive way she could have
true
said.
To her character.
I appreciate it, but no. I really enjoy watching everybody celebrate afterwards. That's pretty realistic.
I did not expect this series to have any more happy moments.
Yes, we got the Easter egg with Tri Podrick. So Tormund walks over and he's like, he gets his beard. Podrick looks over at him with the dorky smile, and Tormund walks off, and he turns a little, and he sees this cute lady sitting on the corner. He's just like, hey. And then all of a sudden, you pan over to some other...
The Hound, yeah.
It was the Hound, yeah. And so they're talking, and then if you look at the background, you see... Podrick putting the
Easter egg. He's whispering in one girl's ear, whispers in the other ear, and let us go.
And they walk off.
So he had a good night. Several characters had a good night. It was good, but I just feel.
What about Arya and the Hound?
Arya and the Hound. We got confirmation that the Clegane Bowl is still on. I can look forward to one fucking thing, the Clegane Bowl. But I'm telling you guys, overall, well, let's just do that now. Let's go to final verdicts and begin with Alex.
So I think that storytelling this one was much better than last episode, the third episode. But it didn't have any of the visuals that elevated the last one. So I think I was a little bit generous initially with the last one. I was at a 6.5, and I rounded up. I think I should have rounded down. I think last one should have been a 6. This one, I think the storytelling was a little bit better, but it had nothing else to kind of lift everything together. Right. And as far as Game of Thrones goes, this one's like average, if not below average. And I'm not talking about the average television show. Just if you look at this episode in all of Game of Thrones, this one sits at like a 5. It's just it's average at best.
Yeah.
Whoa, you just gave it a 5?
Yeah.
5 out of 10. We're on this line of, man, this is not. This just doesn't seem like the Game of Thrones that we know and love.
Oh, yeah.
And go ahead, Erica.
As a crazy lady, I wanted a lot of people to die last episode. I think I was...
some more death here. We got two deaths.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying last episode. And I think you got me a little hyped with the scene. So, again, I rounded up. I gave it an 8 when I think it actually was a 7, to be honest.
Okay.
I like the storytelling in this one as well. There was definitely some scenes that actually... got you thinking. Again, we're back in Game of Thrones. I did appreciate, again, I'm a monster, the fact that Rhaegal died and we had the other death, Missandei. I enjoyed the fact that her last word was fire, so that was pretty sweet. And I really want Dany to be our final king, our Mad Queen in that sense. So again, it wasn't the best episode, so it might have been a 6.
6, but they didn't pet the puppy.
They didn't pet your fucking puppy. You go pet that dog.
That's what I'm saying. I fucking hated this episode just for that. Well, here and you guys know that I'm really sad and disappointed. With last episode, I feel like the storytelling is falling apart. We're going back to shit that I don't care about. The political stuff was really, really good, but when you're doing the political stuff after what was an existential threat to everything, and then you go right back into it, I guess that's the political commentary on it, that humans suck and they just keep doing the same things. And I don't know. I wish it was all. It's a little out of order. I feel like some of the characters are kind of doing acting out of character. The battle plans are still stupid as hell.
Tropes.
There's tropes. And it just feels like they're wrapping everything up, and it's not satisfying. It's just, it doesn't work. If you take the two episodes, first episodes, episode 1 and 2, and combine them, you got one episode for wrap-up. Yep. It felt like one episode anyway. One episode to wrap up the fucking Night King. This episode to plant the seeds of Dany going mad and going crazy and doing Dracarys and fucking up the whole, which, by the way, is the fucking plot line that they did the first time she went to the Dragonstone, and she was like, I'm going to fucking, burn everything with fire, and they convinced her, don't do it, when she had all the forces, and now she's going to go and fucking do it anyway with fewer forces. It's just pointless. It pisses me off. And that's where they're planning the Mad Queen, then one episode to kill Cersei, and then one episode Mad Queen, Dany, and then the fucking series is over. And I at this point, I'm kind of checked out. I don't really care as much. It's sad that I'm not as excited for Game of Thrones. I'm more like excited to see how this train fucking slams into a wall, how it falls off the tracks in a glorious fashion. And I can't wait for this bittersweet ending,
I
guys.
can't also wait to see who wins our Deadpool, because Joe and I are tied right now.
That's right. We're actually ahead of Alex.
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
I'm losing,
surprising. But that's just because it's been so wacky, and you can't really fucking
can't predict anything.
You can't
anymore.
predict anything anymore, and I've give up on the fucking Deadpool because I think I'm wrong, and I think Eric is gonna win because like John or Dany, one of those is gonna die, and one of them is gonna survive because it's got to be a bittersweet ending, and that would be a bittersweet.
I can tie her, and you can pull ahead if John dies.
If John dies,
she says John lives. So if John dies, I think you come ahead and her and I tie.
It's gonna be Dany. Dany's fucking dead. Nobody likes her on the fucking in the kingdom. She's got no allies anymore. All the people that loved her, and they all love John. She's just gonna go crazy. She's gonna be the final boss. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I think it's gonna have to go against a lot of characterization. It's gonna go against a lot of the arc and the softness that she's built up and everything that she's learned and what her advisors told her.
Yeah, but the writers clearly
and
showed that
they're
they don't
already
care
talking
anymore,
shit.
so.
Varys and fucking Tyrion are already fucking planning treason behind her back openly without and Varys is doing this without even seeing if she's a tyrant. He's already convinced that she's a tyrant, but he haven't even allowed her to fucking rule. Yeah, she might take over brutally, but fucking Cersei, look at her brutal takeover.
Well, I mean, Varys is always
And
planning
she's
a
better-
few steps
gonna be-
ahead. So, I mean, he probably saw, hey, this happened to Jay Bear. She's not getting the support she needs from John. There's a whole lot of things that are connecting it.
I hate it. It's a 5 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Because here you got this fucking, hot topic pirate, as people say on Reddit. This fucking crazy-ass Euron, whatever. He comes in and he immediately gets to fucking kill dragons. He's like he's killed, what did he do? He killed the fucking dragon.
He took over the Iron Islands.
Sand
snakes.
Fucking killed the sand snake. He's like as effective as Arya. And this guy comes in last season and he's getting all the fucking glory. And it's like, what the fuck? But, at least I could look forward to the Clegane Bowl and this train gloriously going up in flames. Yay. And then maybe, hopefully, the books will end different. We will have to see. I think it is a 4 out of 10 because I liked it worse. I didn't like it as much as last episode, but at least last episode was well shot, other than the darkness. But there was tension, and I was at the edge of my seat, and I was fucking feeling it. And this one, it's just like, wait, what? Why would they do that? No.
Like the saddest thing was Bree cried and Rhaegal died. And nobody pet
and John
the dog.
didn't fucking pet Ghost. Like the way they treat this fucking.
And Tormund's gone.
That's the fans are a fuck. Yeah, Tormund's gone. The fans are Ghost because Ghost never gets fucking any attention. I don't know.
Though
I don't know what I was saying.
Bree is alone in Winterfell with this guy.
Yeah.
You think Tormund? She's going to rebound?
Rebound.
I mean, he
Not
has
happening,
he has
guys.
a direwolf now.
He has
so,
a direwolf
hey.
and a right hand.
Oh my God.
Ah.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Let me thank Stardust app, which is a app that you can download where you share reactions with one another on, for example, Game of Thrones. I'm putting up exclusive videos, some comments, what I think of what the episodes before and after, and how this thing is ending, how this, and join this. Come on this ride with me.
The first shot was in his chest, and that was the first arrow that was.
But how could you get the drop on the dragons? They would have the vantage point to see.
I think she was distracted because she was really proud that her dragon hadn't fallen yet. Like, he was recovering, and so she was real proud of it.
It's lazy. It's absolutely lazy.
Oh, also.
All right, Joe,
Brienne
when you're ready,
crying.
let's watch.
And yeah, I mean, we can go through this together. If you're one of those fans that fucking love the way it's going, then go on to my reactions and tell me why I'm wrong. But if you're the one that agrees with me, that you think this is going off the rails, come and be miserable.
Echo chamber.
Come and be miserable with us. But, all right, so thank you, Stardust app. And thanks to the winner there, who is going to get to go to the viewing party for the very last episode of Game of Thrones. And I really do hope that they throw a Hail Mary and they pull something out. And it ends satisfactory, because I think, how do you think this thing is going to end? Let's just say it right now.
I think
go ahead.
Dany is the Mad Queen.
Okay.
She'll have to be ended. I don't think Jon will be the one who has to do it.
Right.
I think he is too kind-hearted. Somebody else will have to kill her.
It's stupid.
Maybe
okay,
Arya.
so I'm like you, and I can't believe I violently opposed her when she brought this idea up, and now I'm like, it's...
Well, she also said that, like, Dany's going to, like, roast him alive with a dragon.
Well,
still can
I
happen.
The prediction was that she would attempt to roast him, and obviously he's a Targaryen, so he wouldn't have burned, and then that obviously...
See, this is why it's stupid, and I
gives him
fucking
the
hate
claim
it.
to the throne.
I hated that idea so much, and that's why I'm at a 4 out of 10 and 6 out of 10, because this thing is coming true.
See, I hope that...
She literally was, like, in the middle of battle, the dragon turns and starts firing at Jon and all the
just given the opportunity. She had the opportunity, though, which almost gave her that heart that we wanted, which was Dany wasn't going to turn into the Mad Queen. She definitely had the opportunity to burn Jon in that episode, last episode. She didn't. So
all right, I think it's going to end with Jon and Dany's winning over Cersei. Their losses are heavy. Dany blows all these people on fire. She blows up fucking King's Landing. The people hate her. And it's going to have to be Jon, or she, does something to piss Jon off or piss the kingdom off. And they're going to want Jon to be the king and not her. And he's going to have to end her life.
Interesting.
And, just like Ned at the beginning of the series had to end the life for not being loyal, and it was a duty. Even though he's an honorable man, he's got to do it. It's going to be the same. I think it's going to be Jon himself to do Dany, which... I know probably not going to happen. You're right. It's going to be somebody else. But I'm going to have to stick with that. And that's that bittersweet ending. Yeah, Jon gets to sit on the throne. He didn't want it. He didn't want that responsibility. But Dany's Lord.
Yeah.
But I want Dany. I at least want a bad guy to win. If this is going through this, if Dany's going to be the Mad Queen, let the Mad Queen win.
You want her to win.
If she's the Mad Queen, she can figure out how to kill Jon Snow. That guy's an idiot. So, like...
I like this idea because I want.
Then we have like a really cool like potential. I know they won't do any.
When the Night King comes back and murders everybody, and haha, you guys shouldn't have been fighting each other. We were just joking, bro. Why would we go over there with the self-destruct button?
But it would be so fun. We have Sansa in the north, like staring down Daenerys in the south, and like they're.
You think it's gonna fucking end with the two women about to fight, and then they don't pay that off? No, that's not how the series ends.
You don't know.
It is wrapped up, and they fight, and there's somebody sitting on this fucking throne. Can you tell me they're not doing the existential Song of Ice and Fire, and now they're not even going to do the fucking Game of Thrones? Well, that is not a bittersweet ending. That is a bitter ending.
Also, like Dany wins, she gets the throne, but
Sansa's like, fuck you, we're coming, and then winter is coming is the last line, and Sansa's like, winter is coming.
What about this season so far makes you think the writing is any better than what I just described?
That's exactly why the two writers.
All right, whatever. We just got 50%, 70% downvotes because we didn't suck off fucking Game of Thrones.
Too fucking bad.
But
people.
You know what? This is our
honest opinion. People don't like dogs,
and I don't want to fucking sleep on it and then redo my rating because honestly, I'm going off the rails. I want it to be a beautiful train wreck, and let's all drink to that. Thank you guys so much for watching the episode. We shall see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.